Good evening, everybody. I am Aperchi. He's TJ. We're back for another episode of Rivalries. How we doing, mate? How you doing? Welcome back.
I am fantastic, Perchy. Thank you so much. Welcome to the best rivalry show on YouTube, everybody. You're welcome in advance.
Exactly. You're here. No, exactly. Exactly, mate. How you been today? Anyway, you good?
Oh man, now I'm good. Just working away. Got a couple of shows today. I'm on Jed's channel a little later, so looking forward to that. But yeah, man, everything's good. How are you doing?
I'm all good. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a tan on today. I've
Yeah,
been
I was
tanning
gonna say.
up.
Well, you saw some sun. You saw a beach.
It's a bit of a beach, bit of a walking around and stuff. My mum's visiting Barcelona, and today's bank holiday here in Spain, so it's a lovely day
Nice.
off. The whole of Spain is out on the beach. The whole of Barcelona is out on the beach today. Anyway, let's talk a little bit of football now. Let's talk football.
Let's do it.
Let's go with you lot first. Let's talk about Arsenal first. 2-1 winners against Forest. Early kickoff on Saturday. Wasn't the greatest, but you got the job done, and your new player is out for 6 months. Talk to me, mate. Talk to me. Let's go through it.
Yeah, so I said this in the match reaction. Feel free to go over to TJ Warren TV and do that, but I'll give you guys the Cliff Notes version. Subscribe to TJ Warren TV, obviously, shameless plug. We were uninspired. I think that we are playing a 3-4-3 in a system where we should just be playing 4 at the back and not necessarily having, somebody like Thomas Partey pretending to play right back.
But that's that. I was gonna bring that up with you, Thomas Partey. Because when I saw the team news, I went, "Here we go. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see how Arsenal could do." I was out for lunch and stuff, so I didn't actually catch the game, but I caught the last 15-20 minutes because I did my show. Literally, I think it was a delay on the kickoff, so it actually, I luckily got the last 20 minutes of it, and I saw, and I went, "Partey right back? What's going on here?" And then you've got Timber, who's a right back, playing at left back. I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, well, Timber's been playing fullback at the left and the right for the majority of the preseason. So him at left back, I thought he was great. I thought he was going to start over Zinchenko before he got injured, but obviously we saw what happened there. But with Partey playing right back, he was never playing right back. He was always going to go inverted and help bolster the midfield. It was essentially a 3-4-3. So the people saying that it was 4 at the back with Partey playing right back, not really, because you saw Ben White going over. Big up, Jaminho. You saw Ben White was starting at center back when really he was just on the right side of a three center back setup. So that's kind of how I saw that. We went with Rice and Partey CDM, and we were just really trying to clog the midfield up against Forest. Which, as soon as I saw the lineup, I changed my 4-0 to 2-1, which ended up being the score. Pat myself on the back there, but yeah, I mean, I understand what Arteta is doing, but I don't endorse it because it's not what we normally play. And it was obvious that the team wasn't very comfortable in it either. So it was very uninspiring, not very not something to get you excited about. Obviously, we should be beating teams like Forest by 3 goals minimum.
Well, you went 2-0 up quite early, and I went, "Do you know what? This has 3-4-0, 4-1 written all over it. It'll be a walk in the park now." But there was that moment after 2-0, and when as I said, I didn't watch all of the game. I watched probably the last half an hour of it, and I saw it, and I went, if you'd had the scoreline at the time it was 2-0 at the scoreline, you'd have gone, "This is a comfortable Arsenal performance." And when I flicked it on, I went, "Forest are in this game here. They scored," and I went, "They're going to equalise." It had that game right at the end of it. It looked Forest had the ascendancy right at the end of it, and I went, Forest will probably feel a little bit hard done by. They probably didn't deserve to win it the whole game, but that last half an hour that I watched, I went, they probably feel a little bit hard done by. They've not won the game of football here, or got a result, got something out of it at least.
Yeah, we kind of died after the Timber injury. I mean, Timber was injured in the first half. He should have never came out of the dressing room, in my opinion, to play in the second.
Yeah.
But he went down almost immediately in the second half, and you figure out that he tore an ACL. So,
what? Wait. Again, I'm not privy to this information.
No, it's okay.
So because obviously I didn't watch the first half. But
yeah,
so you're telling me that he tore his ACL and then went back out in the second half. That's mental.
I don't know if they knew that. I don't know if it was torn at the. I don't want to say it, but he went down in the first half and he was down. He got back up and he played, and then he came back out again. And I was saying, like, the way that he was grabbing his upper calf, I'm like, it looks like an ACL. And that was what it ended up being. So the fact that he came out after he got that knock in the first half, I think is pretty condemning on the Arsenal medical team. And this isn't something that's hasn't been talked about in Arsenal circles. We are absolutely fuming that was allowed to happen. And now our player, who I was just saying on this show on Friday, Perchy, possibly be the signing of the season for us in a season that included Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, to be our signing of the season. And now he's injured for 6 months. Now we're going to be stuck with Tomiyasu. Now we're going to be stuck with Zinchenko possibly.
Well, what happens here with Kieran Tierney? We talked about it on Friday, didn't we? We talked about it on Friday when it looks like he's going to have a way out. He's going to go. There's no way you're selling Kieran Tierney now. Whether the manager wants him or not, it would be crazy to get rid of him now. If in between now and the transfer window, if you don't sign a left back or even a right back, you could argue.
Yeah.
You've got to look at it and go, whoa, where are you going to be this season? I think that's a massive worry.
Well, we still have QER who can slide in at left back.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him. I'd rather have him there.
But is this sort of square peg round hole business? Because I've had this back with Tottenham.
It is.
And we'll talk into it. For me, when I see things like that about, we're going to put this player here because he can play there. Nah, play your primary position. Yeah, if we get injuries here and there, then we're going to have to make do with it because in October you can't do it. For me, that's where I would be really worried that if you don't go and sign a proper left back, say worried, I'm not worried. I'm worried about it in the sense of the context of it. Not, I don't care.
Yeah.
Listen, but you know what? You know, my point is that if you don't go and sign a left back and then sell Tierney, surely that causes a huge issue on that position, right?
Yeah, I would say so. The problem is that Tierney doesn't really fit into Arteta's system anymore. So even for, I would love Tierney to stay. He's one of my favorite Arsenal players, period. Has been an incredible servant to the club. He deserves the best. Like, if he's going to get time out at Newcastle, sell him to Newcastle. Like, this is one of those things where if we aren't going to use him, get the money and send him somewhere where he can actually advance his career. Would I want him to stay? Yes. Even coming off the bench, he's so solid in closing out games that I would like to see him stay. But if he isn't going to be used, then go, because he's not an inverted left back, Perchy. He is an overlapping
that's true.
left
He's an old school left back, and he gets up the pitch.
Yeah, no, and he's fast, he's smart, he's solid, makes good decisions. Like, he performed in the preseason too. I don't think that's talked about enough. Obviously, he had the issue against Man City. Yeah, smash the likes up, everybody. He had the issue against Man City, but other than that, he really didn't put a foot wrong. So, I mean, and even then you can say, you know, when he was subbed on in the context of that game was a little suspect, especially with Timber playing as well as he was. So I could talk about this until the cows come home, Perchy, but man, I'm just a huge Kieran Tierney fan.
Yeah.
I wish he would stay, but he probably won't. And now that Timber is gone, we're looking once again thin at the back. So
no, definitely, mate. No, and guys, if you're in here, guys, and watching, please smash the like button. If you're new into the channel, please subscribe. And of course, if you haven't, go and subscribe to TJ Warren TV. Go over there. Listen, we're all a community, aren't we? Like, we're Tottenham, Arsenal, but we're all one YouTube community. Help each other out. It costs you guys nothing. Click the button and let's help each other out and work as a community. Right. So we've talked about Arsenal. So who have you got this weekend? Let's talk about that first.
We got Crystal Palace on Monday away at Selhurst.
And they could be without. They're going to be without Elise. It looks like now, which we'll talk. We'll go into Chelsea very shortly. Actually, let's talk about that in a bit. But it looks like they're going to be there with. But they got a comfortable result, 1-0 win at Sheffield United. Do you think they're going to cause an upset, or do you think it's business as usual?
It should be business as usual for us, but if we continue to play the formations that we are against Palace, they can make us pay for it. I mean, Selhurst Park is not an easy place to go.
Never is. Never has been.
It doesn't matter who is on the field for Crystal Palace. They will make it difficult for anybody who comes into that. So if we're playing this 3-4-3 hybrid thing that we went up against Forest, they'll cause problem for us, and it'll be squeaky bum time once again. So I'm really hoping that isn't the case, Perchie. I hope we go in with our 4-2-3-1, the normal, obviously we'll probably have Nketiah up top because he just bought himself another reprieve from the top Gooners by scoring a goal that was deflected, by the way. So we'll see. I just hope we show a little bit more intent than we were.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not, like I said on my channel, I'm not going to put makeup on the pig. It was not a good game. We did not play well. We got the 3 points, which is great, but we need to see some massive improvement.
Is playing the late kickoff going to be a deterrent, or is it going to be a benefit?
I don't think it really matters, to be honest.
That's fair.
Just go in there, do your job, and come back with 3 points.
Totally get that. Big up to you guys in the chat. Big up to you. Let's talk about Tottenham for a bit. Let's have a little Tottenham chat. 2-2 against Brentford. We've got, I think, a good result. I think people gone a bit over the top. I think you look at it and go, Brentford lost 2 home games last season. For me, it's a good result. I think the performance was better in patches. I am massively worried about our front three. I'd like to get your take on it. I think Son, Richarlison, Kulusevski, it's a bit too passive. I'm really excited, and we'll dig into Gift Orban because it looks like he is closing in on a move to Tottenham, and we'll talk about him very shortly. But for me, the worry for me at the front three and all the Spurs lot, all my lot in here, I'd like to get your thoughts also in here, and yourself, TJ. Son, Kulusevski, and Richarlison, for me, came across a bit like it was easy for Brentford to defend against. They went, do you know what? Fine. You lot aren't going to have anything that's any sparkle. Whereas Son 2 or 3 years ago, jinks in, does something a bit different, causes a problem. For me, it felt a lot of the end of last season with him. Same with Kulusevski.
Yeah.
I think Kulusevski is a one-trick pony. What are your thoughts on that, mate?
I think Kulusevski he didn't offer very much. I did want to comment on Son. He's the new captain of Spurs, which I think is well deserved in my opinion. We talked about that last week.
Yeah.
But, what I get worried about him about is that he doesn't seem like he's very confident right now. He's not being very direct. Not really firing on all cylinders. And obviously, when you got Richarlison next to you, as opposed to Harry Kane, that isn't going to up your confidence any more than it already is. So if Spurs are going to want to win, they're going to need him to really come into his own a little bit more. I mean, he was just hanging on to the ball too long, not making decisions quick enough, in my opinion. Long may it continue, because I don't want to, I would love to see Spurs lose every game, but that's just something that I noticed. And obviously Kulusevski didn't do himself any favors either. Like somebody, I think I was on Tottenham Away when we were talking about this, and somebody brought up Cooley. I was like, oh, he was playing? Like, that's how it is. Like, he was. You really didn't even know. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree with you there. I think for me, Kulusevski invisible was the best way. I mean, listen, I think it could have been Kulusevski or Son being subbed off. And listen, that's the one thing I want to say. Big credit to the manager. Massive shout to the manager, because he could have done the easy thing and gone, Son's my new captain. I'm going to keep him on the pitch even though he's having a poor game of football. Right. He's gone, no. I'm bringing you off, and I'm going to put Perisic on. Bear in mind, I didn't think Perisic did much when he came on. That's my point. But I respect the manager for doing that. That sets a precedent. No individual, where I felt under Conte, so many certain individuals, doesn't matter how bad you were playing, you were playing. Yep. I rated that because, listen, that tells me that the manager is now going to go and say, you're off. Listen, you're not good enough. We're going to change it up a bit here. For the team, we're going to give it a bit of a change. And I like that. That was one of the big things about Postecoglou I love. The one thing I did love, and big shout to Son as well, man. Like I say, a shout out like he's watching. Yeah, imagine if Heung-min Son just comes in. Big up Heung-min Son, we love you. But no, the one thing the one thing I will say to him, big shout out for what he did at the start of the game. Such a simple thing to do, but what a way to galvanise the fan base. Did you see this?
I saw it when they went over and clapped them.
He got everyone in and went, guys, first thing we do, we go to the away fans, clap them, and we do the huddle just below the away fans. We sit there, we give a huddle, and then we go to the centre circle. That, for me, it sounds so silly, but things like that are massive when it comes to football fans. They go, do you know what? I can get behind this. And initially, I thought that was a Postecoglou thing. But then it turned out Postecoglou came out and said, no. That was Son and the players' idea to do that. And I went, do you know what? Fair play. Mad respect on that. Whatever we should talk about performance, that I really liked. That's something I could like to get galvanized. Just do that now every week. I want to see that every week. Go out there especially on an away day. Yeah. Go out there and show that in that sense. That's little things like that bring the fan base along. Do you know what I mean? There's some that are skeptical. There's a lot of fans that are still skeptical. Things like that bring you along. I want to talk about Bissouma. For me, he was absolutely outstanding against. I think he was absolutely outstanding. For me, could he be in this system? You could be talking about £100 million player. Like, let's be honest, Chelsea are signing the likes of Caicedo for £150 million. I think Bissouma is better than Caicedo. Do you think? I think slightly different player, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I think that in this current market, Bissouma could fetch something in the same range. But I think the money that they just paid for Caicedo is absolutely mad. $100 million more or $115 million more than Bellingham, more than Rice. Just insane. Chelsea are on one. They are absolutely on one. But yeah, going back to what you're talking about with Bissouma, I thought he was great. He didn't put a foot wrong. My man of the match was Maddison because he got those
same with me. I think I put everyone said to me, Bissouma's better. I think Bissouma had a better performance, but I thought Maddison in the important moments is good. I think he is going to be absolutely special. And I said this on my match reaction. Bissouma and Maddison are the first two names on the team sheet. No one else gets in it. No one else yet has earned the right in. Van der Ven, by the way, good debut on his part. But at the moment, Bissouma and Maddison should be the first two names on the team sheet, and everyone else fills in around it.
You don't blame him for that own goal?
Nah. What he's done, I think it's a bit harsh. It wasn't an own goal anyway. I don't think it went down as an own goal. I think it went down as the shot was on target.
As a deflection? Okay.
Yeah, but in fairness, what that is, do you know what that is? That is your defender and your goalkeeper that have not played together. That's all that is.
That's exactly what I mean.
Because normally your goalkeeper goes, leave it, it's mine.
Yep.
What Van der Ven's done, he's done defender's instinct, get my body in front of it. It's ricocheted off the top of his foot and gone the other side of the goalkeeper. Listen, those things happen. If fans, I'm not saying but if fans are going to start critiquing the player like on that, I think then we can critique anyone. I mean, I've seen some of the best defenders in the world make clangers like that. I mean, that for me, using the term clangers harsh. I thought Van der Ven had a brilliant game. I felt sorry for him that Romero had to go early off the pitch because I would have liked to see the pair of them the whole game.
Yeah,
Romero going off after scoring the goal because of his head injury. For me, because of the concussion.
Is he under concussion protocol? Is he out?
Well, I believe now he will be. This will be a good question to find out if he plays, because I assume so. I think if he is, it means Davinson Sanchez starts against Man United. And I think Sanchez, I've been a massive, massive critique of him. Yeah, I thought he was all right. His recovery pace is good. For me, my massive issue at the moment is Emerson Royale on that right-hand side. I mean, Rico Emery, mate. Yeah, he scored. By the way, he scored an absolute beauty of a goal. Yeah. Beautiful goal. But I don't judge him a right back to score goals. I judge him how he defends, and he got cooked by Rico Emery all game. Brentford went, do you know what? We're going to stick it on the left because their left winger, he has one trick, and we can intercept it very easy. So their right midfielder, sorry, we're going to keep it on the left. Their right winger, he's got one trick. He'll cut in. You can defend against that easily. And their right back can't defend very well. For me, I thought he was poor. I thought he had a poor game. Oh, here he is. Look, it's like Barry. Whenever you hear Emerson Royale, his antennas come out. He's gone, they're talking about Royale again. Listen. I'm not gonna shoot on the guy. Listen, fair play to him on his goal. By the way, what a finish! What a finish!
Are you calling? Is he calling him a goat?
Oh yeah, he loves Emma Goat. He calls him Emma Goat. He's getting 12.
Okay. I'm newish to the channel. That's ridiculous.
Barry loves a bit of Emerson Royale. Barnes gone Perchy. Is Jed Spence someone expected to be back in the fold? Nah, it doesn't look it.
He's gone.
Not for me. I think the fact is he got a little bit of time against Barcelona in pre-season, told me that he is not involved in this team. He'll be one of those that gets offloaded. Before we continue, big up to the best, the favourite Doncaster Rovers fan, Daniel Wanterden. Evening, guys. Big up another show, Perchy. Mate, thank you so much, man. You are one of the biggest supporters of the Spurs YouTube community, being a Doncaster Rovers fan. Much love to you, mate. Thank you so much. Big up to you, mate. And by the way, this man donated so much money in my charity stream. This guy deserves a massive shout out. Top guy.
Great job.
Top guy.
Big up, Rams.
For me, yeah. So for me, I think Spurs are a work in progress, but we're a work in progress in a very positive system. I think we're going to be one of those that is going to work very, very hard. We're going to play better football, and we're going to catch teams out, in my opinion. We're going to be a problem at the back. Yeah, I think that's going to improve. Bear in mind, another one thing I will big up this guy, Destiny Udogie. What a football player.
Udogie had a great game.
Oh, I thought he was brilliant. I think he was what everyone was telling me Emerson Royale can do. Defended better. And he's not a defensive player. He's an attacking fullback. But listen, I'm joking. I'm not going to sit there and have a go. Listen, I think Emerson Royale at the moment is the right player at the moment. Whether I like it or not, unless we go and sign a proper right back, Porro can't do that job. So I think we have to be very balanced when we talk about that side of things. So I think we're going to get there. I don't think we're going to sign a right back. So we're going to have Emerson Royale this season, whether we like it or not. But I think we've got Man United next. Man United on Saturday, late kickoff.
That's going to be a fun one.
It is, because what are your thoughts on Man United? I watched them last night and I weren't that impressed with them. Opening game at home, I weren't impressed with them. Were you?
No, I had them smashing Wolves 4-0.
I did as well. I had Wolves go down this season.
Wolves performed. Wolves came out and were actually playing some pretty progressive football from what I saw. I didn't really watch the entire game, but what I did see, Man United didn't really perform. And honestly, that would scare me a little bit if I were Spurs, because they know they came out flat against Wolves. They know they didn't put in what they needed to do. Is that at Old Trafford, by the way?
That was Old Trafford, yeah. Well, our game. No, it's
White Hart Lane. Game at Old Trafford.
White Hart Lane.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. White Hart Lane.
Okay, our first home game of the season for us.
Okay, so I mean, that game goes one or two ways. You guys are either gonna sneak it out, or they're gonna come in and bend you guys over. I don't think that's gonna be a draw.
The one thing I've said, I think I predicted 2-2 against Brentford, and I fancy us another 2-2 against Man United.
Really?
I think so. I think it'll be a game of we're gonna have chances. The one thing that players like, the one thing that Heung-min Son and Kulusevski are going to benefit, and Richarlison are going to benefit. I think they're going to probably prefer playing Man United. It sounds mad, it sounds crazy, but Brentford played a back five. They don't play a back five, by the way. They normally play a back four. They played a back five against us. Man United aren't going to play a back five. Man United they're not going to sit in and basically sit deep, low block, and go, do you know what, break us down.
They're not going to put pressure. They're going to attack you.
There's going to be gaps that we're going to exploit, hopefully exploit some gaps. And
does your attack or your lack of attack, and we didn't even talk about Richie, does your lack of attack worry you at all against Man United? Because I would be. I mean, and
no, do you know what?
Look,
do you know what?
That isn't Brentford standing across from you. That's
yeah,
Man
but
United.
what you've got, yeah, but the thing is the one thing where I'm actually less worried. As I said, it sounds counterintuitive. You think Man United are a better team than Brentford, but the one thing that Man United will do is they will allow space. Yeah. And that is where Son is better. Son's going to be better, and Richarlison's going to have a bit more time and chance to get through the middle. Same with Kulusevski. So you might, I for one wouldn't play the three. I wouldn't play those three, but I think they're going to be a bit more space because Man United aren't going to sit with 5 defenders and go, come on then, break us down.
Yeah. Do you think I'm turning this into an interview show. Do you think that that Richarlison is just not in tune with his midfielders quite yet, because he made a couple of runs that were just a little bit in front of him, a little bit behind him. Like obviously Brentford were crashing the box a little bit, really collapsing in when he was trying to make those through runs. Do you think that they're just off? They haven't had enough time to gel yet, or like I guess what I'm asking is are you giving Richarlison the benefit of the doubt at this point, or do you think he's garbage? I think he's garbage.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't believe I'm saying it, by the way.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're saying that.
I'm saying it, but
show him, guys.
But the reason why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt is on this. I think under Conte, whether people like Conte or not, him and Richarlison fell out. Richarlison's one of those players that needs an arm round his shoulder. He needs to be told he's the best thing since sliced bread. Whether he is or not, that's irrelevant. He needs a manager or anyone to go, like, you're the man. You're the reason. Harry Kane's gone. You're going to be the next Harry Kane at Tottenham. He needs someone to blow a little bit of smoke up his backside. A little bit of smoke. Listen, for me, it would be silly for Postecoglou to drop him now.
He doesn't have any other choice. He doesn't really have any other choice.
But if he drops him and puts Son down the middle and then plays Perisic on the left, Kulusevski on the right, let's just say hypothetically he does that.
Yeah.
What he's already done is he's completely alienated his number 9. And he's gone, do you know what? You've given me one game to give an opportunity. For me, if it's me, I would go and play either the same 3 or drop Kulusevski and put in someone like a Solomon that has a bit more unpredictability in the final third. Yeah. Like, I think Kulusevski's a better player, but I think Solomon offers a little bit of something different that Kulusevski doesn't have. So I think for me, that's what I want to see. So I do want to see something a bit different. For me, if you take Richarlison out the middle, I think that is silly, and what that's done is your number 9 is alienated, and then you've got to then go and say you've got to build him back up and say, okay,
how much rope are you giving it? How much rope are you giving him though, Perch? Because eventually you got to do it.
I said anything between 5 and 7 games. So if he hasn't scored in 5 or 7 games, you go, do you know what? Then we're changing it. Yeah. Like if he's had 5 games and he's not scored a goal, you go, do you know what? We're going to change this up. It's not working. But doing it after one game, Brentford away, which is a tough place to go to, for me, that would be silly. Listen, we've got tough games going on. Got to play Man United. Think then we've got to travel to Burnley. I think we then play Sheffield United at home.
You guys should.
And then we travel to someone in the chat. Bournemouth away, I think it is. It's Bournemouth away, and then we play Liverpool at home. So there's your 5 games, really. There's your
There are goals. There's goals in that Sheffield game. There are goals in that Burnley game.
Do you know what that is? That's a good sample size to go, do you know what? If it doesn't work out, now we can change it. But to change it now would be going, you're done. 1 game and you're out. And I think you can't be doing that. Listen, what I would have liked to have seen from the manager is gone, do you know what? In game, if he changes, go, do you know what? Son, you be the lead man. You be the vocal point down the middle. Richie, you're coming off. We're going to bring on Perisic out on the left and change the dynamic maybe a little bit. That way, what you've got is you've got 3 players that can invert into all different positions. Kulusevski could dart in the middle. Son could dart onto the right. Perisic, you know what I mean? It's a bit more less static. It's more dynamic. So maybe that's something that can happen moving forward. But listen, I just think at the moment, I think it's too early to. Well, it's hardly like we went and got battered against. I thought we were the better team. We finished off with 60, 70% possession. which for us is absolutely crazy for what we've had in the past. Before we carry on, let's just read out some comments. Guys in the chat, come on, let's get that to 50 likes. There's 61 of you in here.
Come on.
Let's get that straight away to 50 likes. And if you're new to the channel, can we get this channel to 1,800? We are so close. We were about 2 or 3 away. Let's see.
Oh yeah, do that right now. That's
We're two subs away from 1,800. And remember what I said. I will do a shirt giveaway, a mystery shirt giveaway, if by the end of the transfer window, we get to 2,000 subs. So that is 202 subs away. So if you're new to the channel, and of course, go over to TJ Warren TV and make sure you're subscribed over there as well. Brentford playing at home is tougher than Man United playing away. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're on about the other way around. Sorry, is what you mean. I think you're right in the sense of we're going to have a little bit more space in the final third. It won't be breaking people down. Yeah, Jacob, I am a little bit sunburnt. A little bit. I've been out some, well, not sunburnt, but I've been out having the odd cocktail. It's bank holiday today, so it's
Jacob, the waffle merchant. Big up, Jacob.
Oh, yeah. Jacob does waffle. He loves Romero. I mean, you should have seen him in group chats when he got so excited when Romero scored, and then he didn't. I don't think he even realised he got subbed off. Yeah, honestly, but yeah, no. I'm worried. I'm hoping though. Listen, I will say this though. I'm hoping that we. I hope he's not out for long because I think it's 10 days. Is the 10 days is the concussion protocol.
Oh, okay.
If that's the case, then we miss.
I felt for him. I felt for him after he scored that goal. Man, he was cooking.
Good goal. Too. He didn't want to come up. But listen, one thing that was. Do you know that was James Maddison? What a delivery, by the way.
What a play! Yeah, what a player, man. No, and this is why. And I didn't even get into Kai Havertz because I didn't want to. We don't have enough time for that. I don't want to get you guys demonetized for me cussing Kai Havertz. But he was.
Yeah, that's not demonetized.
When I was asking 3 weeks or no, it was 3 months ago when the transfer window was about to open, I was begging for James Maddison, and now he's showing why he should have been pursued more heavily by Arsenal, in my opinion.
I agree. I said that. I was shocked Arsenal didn't. I said, do you know what? He would have been a great pick for Arsenal, like to get in when they went down, because what you've got there is you've got a player that can work with Odegaard. You can bring him. You can play both of them. Maybe just one of them. It allows a bit of dynamic, and he's a better player than Kai Havertz, isn't he?
He scored 10. What he scored like 10, 11 goals last season too from the midfield in a Leicester side that was very bad. Man, no, he's such a player, and we're gonna regret that. And he's gonna be the catalyst for Spurs this season. Watch that midfield for Spurs, and I don't like complimenting you guys very much, but that midfield is looking very, very good. Once Bentancur comes back,
man. It looks like he's coming back. He'll be back to fitness by December, which probably would be. By January, he'll be back to match fitness. Barry, Nick, mate, they didn't feel the right forms to avoid the concussion protocol. So does that mean he can play against Man United? Let me know. I'm not sure. I know they got that wrong. I got the concussion protocol wrong. But let me know. Does that mean he can play against Man United? Oh, you did. So he should be available for Man United. Yeah, I think we need him back. Listen, I will say that now. Listen, I'm very critical of him. But we need him and Van der Ven to be playing again. Let's slightly move on to a different topic, a bit of transfer news. Let's do it. Tottenham are linked with Gift Orban. Have you seen this lad play?
I've never seen him play, no.
You've never seen him play? I'll let you know this. Go and do your research on Gift Orban after this show, before you do a later show. This kid is a master. If we get him, it's a master stroke. He's a talented boy who plays for Ghent in Belgium. And by the way, anyone who hasn't, go and if anyone watches, if you're a Football Manager fan and you watch Zealand on YouTube, if anyone watches him, he's an American dude, really nice fella, by the way. I watch his stuff a lot. But he did a video on Gift Orban. Go and look into this kid. That video is brilliant, by the way. He's a really talented boy. He came from Togo. He's Nigerian, though. He's half Nigerian, half Togolese. He got scouted whilst playing there. He failed one thing. And then another team saw him and went, we'll give him a go. Went to a team in Norway called Stabæk, tore their league up, and then went to Ghent in Belgium. And at the moment, he's on 49 appearances, 44 league goals. I don't care what level you're at. That's mental.
Ridiculous.
If you're averaging just short of a goal a game, you're at a level too low for you. You should be at this level. And listen, he is the sort of player. He is the archetypal player that I said under Postecoglou what I want to be signing. Because let's be honest, if Brighton signed him, we'd all be going, he's going to be an £80 million player in a couple of years. He'll be £100 million because if Brighton do it, if Brighton get them, they normally become good. That's whoever Brighton approach, I go get them because they seem to get it right. There's very rarely do Brighton ever get it wrong. So yeah, I think Spurs are linked heavily with him. Oh, Shane. Sorry,
Shane, that is bad take, man.
Bad take. Bad.
Wow.
Take. Yeah. Romero Allegri can play. He looks like it because he didn't follow the protocols. See, Spurs got something wrong in the sense that might have made us we got something right. Thank you. Yeah, the gifted sub was from Daniel on the show the other day. Daniel, this man subbed. He gifted you a sub because he's a nice bloke. Low gift shop.
You are
Stop
there.
hyping up.
You are there. You've hit it, Perchy.
Yeah.
1800.
Yeah. Oh, we done. Yes, we have 1801. So thank you guys. We've done. Now let's get to 1900. 1900 is the next target. 99 away. Come on, let's do that now. Let's smash it out. Shane Bappo. Lol. Gift present. Stop hyping average play. Shane, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen Gift Orban play a game of football? If you haven't, go and do your research. This young talent, yes, he's not. Average is very harsh. He's a 21-year-old Nigerian that is just broke through into European football. To just call someone average when you've never seen him play, sorry, not fair. And the fact is I know you've got terrible takes when you said James Maddison is not it. Sorry, when you say that, tells me you have no knowledge of football. Do some research. Trust me, you're wrong. Perchy, have you actually watched him play? Yes, I watched him in the Europa Conference League last season. I watched him score the quickest hat-trick in European football ever. Just saying, I have, because I have watched him play. He played for Ghent. He played against West Ham. So for me, when anyone comes to me and says, "Have you watched him play?" Do you know what I do? Do you know what? And you're like this one. As a YouTuber, you must get this all the time as well. You must get this all the time. When I hear comments go, "Well, Perch, have you watched him play?" Well, yes, because when we're linked to somebody, as a YouTuber, I find it my responsibility to go and research on the player that we're linked to. Like, for example, we've been linked with Kyogo, the lad at Celtic now. Going in, doing research on him. We've been linked with, there was another fella from PSV. I've forgotten his name. I want to say his name was like Sanchez or something. Looked into him, looked a nice player. I've forgotten his full name. But it's funny because I get comments like that all the time. Well, Percy, you're telling me you watch the Belgium League? No, I don't sit and watch it. But as soon as we're linked to a player, I did. And by the way, I did watch this kid because everyone was talking about him last year. So, yeah, for me, silly. TJ, we signed Raya. Like the signing? Yeah, David Raya's joined. Good signing, mate. You like him?
I love it. Yep, I love it. Like I said last week, 1A, 1B, easy back up to Ramsdale. If Ramsdale falls off, we have Raya back to back him up. I don't think he comes in and replaces Ramsdale, but we now have a solid goalkeeper going in to domestic competitions and somebody who can easily back up Ramsdale if there's an injury or something like that. So great signing. Obviously good business by Edu. I do not compliment Edu easily, but we're bumping up against FFP. So we signed him on a $3 million loan deal with the option to buy 27 million at the end of it. I think it was a great bit of business by Arsenal. And I think he is going to continue to put in the same kinds of performances that he did at Brentford. And he arguably has a better line and definitely has a better midfield to support him. So he's definitely not going to be under siege like he was at Brentford. I think he faced more shots than a good majority of the league last season. And he was statistically probably top 3 in the league.
Yeah, he was up there. Yeah, he's a
signing for Arsenal.
Very good goalkeeper. Listen, it's a good one. And the fact that you've managed to wangle him on loan, does that? Here's a question. You could look at that and go, "That's a positive." You could also look at it, that's a negative. That's a negative, that could it though? Because does that mean you've got problems with FFP?
Well,
normally that's the only way you do it. That avoids
we've spent a lot of money. So
you're going to swear then. Good on you.
Yeah. No, we've spent a lot of money. So it would, and I'm not an accountant, but what I read, there was an FFP reasoning behind it, is that we have to wait to pay the rest of that until we get some of these players off of our books. I mean, we still have a lot of players purchased that we need to sell, and we just spent in excess of $200 million on 3 players. So it definitely would probably come into play at some point. Like, and the only player we really sold is we sold Austin Trusty, Matt Turner for 7, and Xhaka for, I think it was like 20 or something like that. I don't remember. That was like all the way at the beginning. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we had some FFP concerns. But great business, and I don't think it's a bad thing that he doesn't get in right away. It's like a trial run, right? See how he does with the club. If it doesn't work out, you can let him go. If it does, pay the rest of the 27, and I think the 27 will look. If I'm being overly positive, if I'm allowed to be overly positive here, I think 27 million is going to be a bargain. A bargain by the end of it.
StreamYard's playing up, and now it won't let me put the. I was just trying to put your link into the thing, and it went to the Twitch one, but didn't go to the YouTube.
No, it's all good. It's all good. My link's at the bottom of the video, people. My link's at the bottom of the video.
Links at the bottom. I'll put it there. And obviously, what's also just below there, if you want to join the membership club, guys, always welcome into the membership club. Let's move it slightly to Chelsea for 1 second, because I kind of liked Rams's one here. Lavia, Fernandez, and Caicedo, get it, LFC, because Chelsea have blown the water now, and it's a great. Have they changed the precedent now of FFP, or is this going to be one of those? They found a loophole, and now they're exploiting it. But do you think Chelsea are going to be just fine, or do you think this is a big worry if he at Liverpool now, at Chelsea? Sorry, that with all these very, very long contracts, now they have to sort of, whoever the manager is. Well, let's go Pochettino, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Does he want these players? Is he the one that's signing these players, or is this somebody else? Because for me, the one thing I don't think this is Pochettino, and I didn't think it was Graham Potter before.
Right.
The one thing at Tottenham, what Pochettino made a very, very big point about, he liked a small squad. He kept his squad as small as possible. So if he didn't want people not playing, he got rid of. He went, "Do you know what? You're not part of myself. You're gone." And he did that at Tottenham. He trimmed it down massively, which in essence became our Achilles heel by the end, because we had no squad depth, if that makes sense. So it kind of swings and roundabouts in that sense. Chelsea at the moment are going to have an absolutely stacked midfield, stacked team. Is this going to be a worry for them, or do you think this could be them going, "Do you know what? We're going for this here. We're going to try and win the league doing it this way"?
I think that they're definitely going to get into Europe now. I mean, I didn't have them in Europe, but I had them in Conference League, but I didn't have them coming back this quickly. But with this midfield, they're likely coming back. And getting back to your question, does Poch need to be worried? Do they need to be worried about FFP? Or why are we getting these long contracts? Really, it depends on how the contracts are structured. These long contracts aren't going to bite them right away, but they may end up biting them later. You never know. But I don't know what the details of the contracts are to comment on that. But this is definitely a Todd Bowley thing, to where he is signing these guys to massive deals. They have great game recognition, or they have great name recognition, and they're going to turn around Chelsea very, very quickly. So I just don't think, I think that this is probably going to end up being the norm, or more of the norm, these longer contracts, especially when these kids being as young as they are. But you get these kids up, they get a certain value. Obviously, I'm not talking about Caicedo. I don't think they're going to end up flipping Caicedo for any larger bill, but like
I don't think they're doing anything here to. I don't think they're doing anything here to flip anything.
Right. But what I'm saying, down the road, that is always going to be a possibility because things change, right? So you always have to keep the valuation of players in mind, especially when you are signing these long-term contracts. Yeah. So it's one of those things where I think that I want to keep an eye on how this goes for Chelsea over the next 3 or 4 years and see if these longer type of contracts become the norm more than the exception, because no other team is doing this. So,
well, you would think others are going to start doing it, right? You would think like this is going to start bucking a trend unless they change something up. Because in Europe you can't have a contract longer than 5 years, but in England you can. So it's going to be a really, really weird one. And listen, Chelsea are doing it their way. They're going to do it their way, whether we like it or not. I think they're going to be absolutely fine with this team. I think what they're signing as well, they're signing young talent. They're not buying 30, 32-year-olds for a couple of seasons. They're buying the likes of Caicedo, who's what, 21, 22? Yeah. Lavia is the same sort of age. Enzo Fernandez is that age. They're buying young, they're early 20s lads, which for them is going to be, if it works out, by the way, huge credit to them. They're going to do well with them. And that's the worry. It's the worry that they're going to start, especially now. This is a good season for them to do it. No European football, and it's going to cause them. Yeah, I think they're going to be the team to watch out for. I thought they'll start to get there with under Pochettino. Yeah, I think they were okay against Liverpool. It's a hard game to start your season off against Liverpool. Isn't easy.
Well, yeah.
Where do you think they'll finish?
I gotta think about it again. Liverpool have just gotten embarrassed this entire week. It's pretty peak for them right now. But
again, Liverpool can be absolutely fine though. I think people already writing them off. I think they'll be fine again this season.
I think
they'll get in there number 10.
So I have Chelsea now that they've made all these moves. I mean, they could go as high as 4th or 5th.
Really, I had them down to finish 3rd this season. No European football. I had them finishing 3rd.
No European football with this. So it depends on how quickly Poch can get everybody on side too. That is also a factor. Is that this is a team that has not played together with each other very much. They're all being brought in from all corners of the world, and they got Poch. I mean, and Poch is a great manager, but it is going to take a while for him to implement his system and have them cooking. Do I think that they're going to make Europe? Absolutely. It really does depend on how quickly Poch can get him into the system and get him working, in a similar way that he did at Spurs.
Yeah. No, I agree. And guys, we're going to go for about 5 or so minutes left. Let me know if you've got any questions, guys. We'll do
the likes too.
We'll do 7. Yeah, make sure you smash the likes, subscribe. Go and subscribe to TJ. Links in the chat. Link is at the bottom as well. Do that. And guys, if you've got any questions, throw some questions. 7 or so minutes we're going to go for. And then after this, I'll send you all over to Henry Wright TV. Straight away over there. Because he goes live literally straight after this. We bought Udogie in the window. He wears 38. We bought Udogie in this window, and we think Udogie's great. Oh, have you heard? Oh, the best chant. No, see Gary, the best chant. I'm going to do it now. Screw it. We're going to do it right now. Let's find it. Have you heard this?
No, I've not. I think I saw it on the internet earlier, but go ahead and do it. Perform for us, Perch. Perform for us. Let's go.
I'm not performing. Don't try that one. Here it is. And Tottenham, whoever the admin for the Tottenham account liked it from the Spurs song sheet. I want to dance with Udogie. I want to win the league with Udogie. Yeah, I want to dance with Udogie with Udogie who loves me, as in the Whitney Houston song. That for me, whoever thought of that is elite. You deserve points for the rest of the season for that one. Whoever created that one, that's brilliant for me. If you somehow got a Whitney Houston song and turned it into a chant, fair play to you guys. Whoever did that, I listen. I'm one of these. Some of them I see, I go, oh, these are just cringy. But that one tickled me. I thought that was a good one. Ross Jacobs gone. Liverpool's defense is starting to creak a bit. They'll be fine. I think they will bring him. They'll keep what Liverpool are good at is they'll just bring players through. They're a good team at bringing players through. You'll start seeing that transition happen definitely. But I get your point. Big up, Joy Boy. Chelsea had 65% possession against Liverpool. No one Kunku Caicedo. Lavia, okay, you low score. I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, no, listen, I think Chelsea are going to be absolutely fine, Joy. Mate, I think you're going to be absolutely fine this season. Bowley's trying to buy a championship. Hope it backfires. This kind of spending is ridiculous. Yeah, but we say that, Terry. We just want our clubs to start spending like that, wouldn't we? We wouldn't complain, would we?
Facts.
Well, that chant already silly because I don't know how Tottenham are winning the league
anytime soon. Daniel, agreed.
Fair play. Daniel. I like it. Fair play. Yeah, but Howard, it is supposed to be you doggy, but you can't do that with the chant. The chant doesn't work like that. You can't do it. Unfortunately, it's how it is, unfortunately. Orban has agreed personal terms with Spurs. Yes, I've read this, Gary. Now go and sign him. Get it done. Get it done before the start of the game. Get it done before the start of the game. Wrong accent by me. Right, Perchy TV. We'll speak to you on the podcast. Yes, I'm going on the podcast later on with James and Ross, and we're gonna have a little chinwag, and we're gonna have a little discussion about everything for a little bit of an hour. Good thing. Best thing about podcasts is you don't have to put your face to it, so you can just sit there and you can sit on your bed and do it. It's all fun and games, but it's a bit later. I'm going to sit and record that with these lads because we were meant to. But it's Tuesday, and we're doing our Tuesday Hotspur Way podcast. It's always good. It's been really good fun. Hopefully, it's not Victor. The chat's having a world of time. Yeah. Chelsea £53 million net spend, and net spend ain't real. Yeah, but what Chelsea are good at. This is the one thing I will give Chelsea a lot of credit for. They get rid of players properly. I think Arsenal are very privy to it. Spurs are very much so. We hold on to players for far too long.
Yes.
Arsenal have started to buck the trend. Tottenham need to start doing it now. The likes of Dyer, Davis, Sanchez, these lads have been in this football club for 7 or 8 years. Need to start refreshing. It only works if you keep refreshing this squad. Mate, I've had a good time, actually. This one's been good.
I've had a great time.
We've had a good one. It's always a good one. Did everyone in the chat like it? Only 50 of you liked it, and there's 72 of you in it. So let's get those likes straight up now. Mate, what have you got on your show? Let's see what you've got on. Plug away.
We got a lot of so like I said, I don't have a show today, but make your way over to Arsenal History and More tonight at 9 p.m. UK time. We are going to have an Arsenal therapy session. So all my Arsenal fans, even if you're Spurs fans, you're welcome over there. Jez is welcoming to all people. Go over to Arsenal History and More.
And big up to Jez, by the way. He's one of the real ones in the community.
No, he's an absolute real one.
Absolute legend. Big up to him.
No, that's what I say. That's what I say to everybody, though, is if you don't like me on YouTube, blame Jez. He got me started here. So yeah, I'll be over there. And then my next show, I believe, will actually be the American Idiot Show, Friday, 9 p.m. UK time. We are going to have Jez on there again. And we are going to be cooking as usual. So thanks everybody for having me on.
No, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. And guys, I will be back tomorrow at lunchtime. I didn't do my lunchtime show. As I said, I was out with my mum. I was trying to be a really good son and go out and have some lunch and just spend some quality time with my mum because she's only here for a couple more days till she flies back to the UK. So I obviously couldn't do that, but I will be back tomorrow at midday for the Lunchtime with Perchy show. Wednesday? No, there'll be a few. I need to get some more videos out, guys. One thing I'm noticing, guys, can you anyone in the chat as well? I'm noticing my videos aren't seemingly going out to everybody because they seem diving in view. So I don't know if that's the algorithm and stuff. So if you can, just check out some of my videos if you can. They're only about 10 minutes long, so it doesn't waste a lot of your time. But I'm just noticing at the moment with the algorithms, my videos are completely tanking. And I don't know if they're not going out to everybody or not. But listen, on that note, it's been a pleasure. And guys, in the chat, we're going to stay here. You're going straight to Henry Wright TV. And I want to see everyone in the chat. #Perchy rocks. Try that one. I love giving random or think of something really creative in the chat and put it in there and just spam the chat with #Perchy in there just to send it over. And listen, mate, TJ, on a serious note, mate, thank you. I had a really good time. That was good, mate.
No, absolutely. I'm loving it. This is a great weekly show. Big up everybody in the chat. The chat has been absolutely elite. Keep coming on. And obviously, if you haven't subscribed to Perchy, go do it right now. Get him up to 2K immediately. And then I'm on the road. I'm on the road to 500. So if you guys want to go over
Let's get there. Let's get TJ through this community to 1K. This man should be on 1K already. How he's not is mad. So let's help him out. Let's, as I said, spread the content, share it out to everybody. Listen, we do this because we enjoy it, but obviously it helps when we want to keep you guys interactive. And guys, listen, on that note, thank you very much. TJ, mate, always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And we're going to leave on a little intro on our ex-player. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.
And here's Kane. He sits on Tottenham's loftiest perch, beyond even the great Greaves. Spurs' most lavish scorer.